Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So if you've clicked on this video, you obviously want to know about my DIY lithium-ion battery. So when I first converted Kevlar, I had two 200 amp hour AGM batteries, and they lasted me about a year. Obviously I'd have 400 amp hour, but you can only use 50% of your battery to try and not damage it, so I only had 200 amp hour. This battery is only 200 amp hour, and it is obviously lithium ion, which I can use pretty much, was it like 90% of the battery? You want to leave like 5% there at the bottom, and you don't want to overcharge it either. But yeah, I can use the majority of this battery. And I went down the YouTube route and found people building their own lithium ion batteries. I watched one video and I was sold. I was like, I can do all of that. I've literally got an instruction manual here which I can come back to. I can just watch this video again, and yeah, I built my own one. And I'm not an electrician, I'm a carpenter. Fair enough, I have a bit of basic knowledge with electrics, but that's as far as it goes. Everything that's in here I've had to sort of look up myself and study, and I'm gonna take this all apart now, so cue the time lapse. So I'll briefly just describe obviously what this is, what all the components is, and I'll bring you in for a bit of a closer shot in a second. So this little orange thing on here, this is a BMS. Now this is a battery management system. So with these cells that we have here, this basically just looks after everything. This makes sure everything gets the right power and everything's all topped up nicely. Has a little Bluetooth connection to it, so with my phone I can have a look at the batteries, I can see that they're all in good shape. And then it also has a little thermostat as well, just to let you know if your batteries are too cold or too hot. That's all that is. These are 3.2 volt cells, lithium ion cells, and each one is 200 amp hour. As I said, 3.2 volts. Link them all up in series, you get 12.8 volts. Really hope the maths is right on that one. These batteries are all linked in series, and these things are called bus bars. This is what links them together. And then from the BMS you have these tiny little cables, and each one of them goes to the positive on each cell, and one just goes to the very first negative. And as I was saying, this BMS looks after all of your batteries. So when obviously the battery's charging, it's getting all the power thrown at it, these little tiny cables are just making sure that all the batteries are roughly the same sort of voltage, and that is what looks after your batteries and makes them last a long time. So you might be wondering, where the hell did I get this from? There's a little place called AliExpress. You can buy an app, well, you can't buy an app, you can download an app, and it basically puts you in contact with the direct manufacturers over in China. So I bought this about 2 years ago now, and for the batteries, the BMS, which I got from eBay, not Ali, this little battery box again from eBay, the charger for this lithium ion battery, again that was from eBay. Everything cost me £500. So do yourself a little favour, go and look online now and see if you can buy a 200 amp hour battery plus a charger for less than £1,000. You might be able to, don't get me wrong, but at the time that made a hell of a lot of sense to me. I could build my own battery, fully understand it, so I have a bit of better knowledge of it, which I'll have to do anyway. If I can build it myself, I'll build it myself. But yeah, that just made total sense to me. And obviously that's 2 years ago as well, so back then for a 200 amp hour battery, I think just the battery was £1.5 grand. So saving myself £1 grand at that sort of time that was the right call. And I love this battery, it is brilliant. However, we're coming into winter, and that's the main reason why I wanted to make this video, because we need to make some upgrades. The upgrade is a heat mat. We obviously, in England, we're in winter now, but it's just bloody pissing it down all the time. And it's not that cold for a lithium-ion battery at the moment. It's absolutely fine. But we did have a little sort of cold spot going down into the minuses, and yeah, we struggled. I'll put that footage in now. That looks better. So yeah, good morning. It is about 7 AM. Just want to kind of run you through the problem that I'm having at the moment. It's -4 outside at the moment, and obviously my leisure battery is in the front of the vehicle, and last night it died because it got too cold. I'm going to show you. Not that you're going to be able to see anything. Hold on, Cam, let's get a torch. So there is my leisure battery. Currently running the engine just to get the heater going, just to kind of top this up a little bit, give it a bit of heat. I've also got the diesel heater on at the moment as well, directed over here. And what I have to do is use my little battery jump pack and give it a little boost. Obviously I let the cab area sort of warm up first before I do that, just so I don't damage the battery. So this is the next day, and the vehicle's not starting again. It's booked into the garage on Tuesday, but I can't charge my vehicle battery because my leisure battery is too cold. Can't put a diesel heater on because I need the battery. So good old wood burner, trying to warm these batteries up so I can plug it back in, get the alternator on, plug the vehicle battery into it and charge it, and then hopefully I should be able to start the vehicle again. I've got to take this battery apart. I'm nervous about doing this because the battery's been fine for 2 years. I think I'll take a photo of it first, just to remind myself where everything went. So you're probably wondering what the hell I am doing. I'm trying to separate these two cells, and I'll explain why in a minute, but I'll tell you what, double-sided tape, not bad. I really don't want to try and put anything in between the batteries to prise them apart, because that might damage them. Right, don't judge me, anyone, I am doing it. But not to prise apart. I'm trying to cut the double-sided tape. There we go. This should come off now. That way and that way. Yes. Right, while we have the cells apart, if you do ever buy these online, so these were grade A batteries, and be careful when you do look at them. Make sure, obviously, look at the description. It will say if it's grade A, grade B, but when you do get the batteries, let's flip it around, a good test is to put the batteries together and see if you have any light in between the cells, because with these batteries, if they're faulty, what they do is they will swell slightly in the middle. So if you put them together and you've got a massive gap and you're like, oh crap, your battery's probably not good. These, I tested all of these, and yeah, they're absolutely fine. God, these scissors are terrible. Ah, get rid of them. shit. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. There we go. Perfect. Ah, yes. So now that thermostat. Thermostat? No. Thermometer. Thermostat's what's on the wall. Yeah, thermometer. That can just go right in between these batteries now. That's what I wanted. That's perfect. This is why you take a photo. This is why you do it. There we go. So that way round. And that went on there. Cool. So this Dali BMS is actually quite clever because they've helped you out a little bit to know which cable goes to which cell. So the first ground goes over to this ground here, and then the first red cable will go to your first positive on your first cell. Second cable will go to your second cell. Third cable, third cell. Fourth cable, fourth cell. Beautiful. Right, now this cable is the thermometer. Now that should be in the middle of the battery. Perfect. So yeah, first upgrade is done and I'm very happy. Obviously with doing this battery, just always remember this is a live battery. In other words, if that cable touches that cable, we get a nice big spark, and you don't want that for your battery. You want to look after it. If you are going to build one of these batteries, just do your research and just clue yourself up on electrics a little bit, just so you know the basics. Know the basics, you should be fine. You have to put a warning in this video, aren't I? So the next upgrade is a heat mat. Here's one I prepared earlier. I do have the heat pad in my box now, but came with two, so here's one to give you an example. I did something wrong as well, as I just put this underneath the battery, and that's a big no-no. You should really, I believe it's almost, you call it, have like a conductor for the heat to transfer into this metal rather than straight to the battery, because you could obviously heat the battery up. So yeah, a bit of metal just to spread the heat, and it's not getting too dangerous for your battery. I bought this one because it has a thermometer inside, and apparently it should cut off at a certain temperature and turn on at a certain temperature. I didn't really trust it, so what I decided to do was put just a inline switch so I can turn it on and turn it off when I want, rather than fully relying on that, which A, could break itself, and secondly, I couldn't really get that much information on it. They are designed for RVs and their water tank systems to stop them freezing, so it would turn on at this, obviously it would turn on at a certain temperature. But yeah, didn't fully trust it. In the lid, what I've done is just put a little switch here just for me to turn it on. It's really nice and simple when I'm in the driver's seat, just to reach around and flick it on. But I'm also going to make another upgrade and put just an inline fuse, just to be on the safe side. So I believe it's this cable here. I'm just basically going to chuck this in there and put a little micro fuse in there. Now, we've got to make sure that I put it back together the right way. For improvement. That way, once that's over, yeah, that's the way it goes. Probably tell I'm not talking because I'm trying to concentrate so much. I want this to work. You might be wondering how I've actually got the lights on right now if I've disconnected my leisure battery. It's because I brought myself a Renogy Phoenix battery power pack thing. If any of you are following along in the VW Caddy Maxi build, it's actually going to be the vehicle's power source, and I'll be selling it with the vehicle, obviously. So at the moment I've just rigged it up and it's running the lights at the moment, so just testing it a little bit, and it is pretty damn good, to be honest with you. I mean, not as good as my leisure battery. In an ideal world, I would have some Celotex either side of the battery to try and keep it warm, but for 2 years I've just had the foam packaging that the batteries actually got shipped in. Obviously it has no thermal properties at all, but it keeps the battery nice and snug in there. I've got the heater in it now, so we should be good. We should be good. That should be it. It's not turning on. Oh, I'm so glad the video's gone this way. Why is it not turned on? I believe it's not turned on because we need to short it out, if that makes sense. Right, there is a naughty way of doing this, of just getting a cable and boop, but I will get my little power pack. Kind of picture this as fucking jolting someone back to life. That's what this is right here. Perfectly fine, perfectly normal. It's all good. There we go. Blue light, no blue light. Okay. But it is on now. You can see the light. No light to the switch though. It's because I haven't put a fuse in. Uno momento. I've lost my micro fuses. Hey! Oh no. No. Regular size fuses. Whee! Oh, I knew it. No, I wasn't going mad. Right, what size should we put in then? So we're going for a 10 amp fuse. Oh, that's better. Just a bit of gentle persuasion. There we go. Okay. She works. So there we go. One lithium-ion battery. It's simple. So simple. The funny thing is, you go to these companies that sell you, obviously, lithium-ion batteries for your motorhome, caravan, micro camper, whatever. If you would take that battery apart, and I'm not recommending you do this, but you will see individual cells inside it, which is what this is, and it will have a BMS inside it. Obviously what you're buying is the sealed package. Don't touch it, just positive, negative, boom, you're fine. But it all works the same way. And so if you want to try and save yourself some money, build your own battery. So this is the app. This is my battery. We're currently sitting at 62%. I'm at work at the moment. Well, I'm at work. I've finished work now. But it's Wednesday, and yeah, I'm still over halfway. I stay quite local to where I'm working at the moment. I don't have any solar at the moment as well, because obviously it's the winter. So this is purely off DC to DC, and by the time it's Friday and I head back to my area, which is quite a long journey, I'll probably be back around 90–95%. So here it is showing you your individual cells, and this is what I mean as it tops each cell up. So if they start to go out of series, as in they start to float too far away from the voltage that they should be at, it will trickle a little bit of a charge, and it will also short it to sort of discharge it. Yeah, you really do have to learn about it to understand it. But the red one is currently my high one, and the blue one is obviously the lowest. But they are all obviously reading 3.2, and that is the main thing really. That's where you want to be keeping them. So the battery temperature at the moment is actually 14 Celsius. So fault alarms, so if the temperature of the battery gets too hot or if it gets too cold, this will flag up and send you a little message and tell you something's wrong. So I'm pretty sure I have covered everything, but if I've missed anything or you have any more other questions, throw it in the comments below. If I've missed too much, I'll do another video. But yeah, if you've got a couple of questions, let me know, I'll answer them. Oh, and by the way, another thing, fair enough, it is heavy, but it's another great thing about lithium ion. You save so much weight. I had two 200 amp hour AGM batteries, and this doesn't even weigh the weight of one of them. So in the long run, you might save yourself on fuel as well. But anyway, I'm gonna go put this back in now and get some power back in here. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please leave a comment if you've got any questions, give a little thumbs up, and of course subscribe. If you are new here and you're wondering what this vehicle is, well, this is my home. This is an Riot van, and if you want to see this van build, it is on my YouTube channel. And this was my little power pack, which was just running the lights as I had the leisure battery out. Absolutely fantastic. Not a sponsor, bought it with my own money, and it's going to be sold with my camper when it comes around to being sold. And if you are following along with that series, there will be a wrap-up video. I'm just waiting on some lights which are going to go on the vehicle, but they come from America, so it's just taking a bit of time. Got some little things to finish off, but eventually the van will be done. I will do a wrap-up video, and I think we're going to take it out and do a little trip somewhere in it before it hopefully gets sold. But thank you all for watching. See you soon.